All right, the countdown to the Turkey Day has begun, and today we're thankful to have the folks in the award-winning Fine Cooking magazine with us. They're going to give us some tips on giving a little pizzazz to your potatoes. That's right. Today we are making creamy, buttery, rustic mashed potatoes, and to help us do that, we have Lori Buckle. Welcome back.
So nice to see you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my goodness. We said in the show open that we were making some really interesting potatoes.
We are making the best potatoes ever.
Okay.
I think, you know, it's a Thanksgiving Day classic that a lot of people think, how can I make this better? How can I make this a real star
Yeah,
of the meal?
spice it up.
We're going to show you how. We're going to show you how, basically, to begin by choosing your potato. Let me tell you, first off, this recipe is on our website, finecooking.com.
Right.
Where you will also find a new app that we have called a menu planner. It's like a virtual cookbook where you go through and pull out your recipes. You get a shopping list. You get a timeline.
Oh, you're talking
so we're going to
my
add these potatoes to that menu.
Okay.
If you had it my way.
And
so we start with choosing the potato.
Okay.
There are a couple of options. You know, at Fine Cooking, we like the classic. We tend to like classics. This is a classic russet potato. This is going to give you that light, dry, fluffy, creamy texture for mashed potatoes. If you want to use Yukon Golds, that's fine. Those are going to be a little denser, a little buttery, kind of interesting. This is the classic light, and this is a little bit denser. You can use sweet potatoes if you have them handy. So feel free to go the way you want to go.
Okay, I like that.
So once you, the next choice you make after you pick your potatoes is you decide whether or not to peel. And I think people think, oh my God, I just don't have time to sit and peel 2.5 pounds of potatoes.
I would think you peel, I do the old-fashioned, just peel, throw it in hot water, boil it, and done.
Don't bother. Don't peel them, no.
Okay, so what should we do?
It's so simple. If you leave the peel on, well, A, you get nutrients. Even though it's Thanksgiving, you still get good nutrients.
Yeah, but of course.
You get a wonderful kind of rustic texture to mashed potatoes with a little bit of the peel in there, and you don't, you save time by not having to peel.
Okay.
So the first thing we do, if you want to go ahead and put these in cold water, this is a really good tip to know. I think a lot of people think, oh my goodness, I have to get my potatoes into boiling water the way I do pasta.
But
no,
why
put them in cold. This means that when the water comes to a boil with the potatoes, they're going to cook more evenly. It's a nice little tip to know. So we start potatoes, cold water. We bring this to a boil. We want to bring it to a slow boil, and once it is at a boil, turn it down to a simmer. If you cook them too hard, if you're boiling really
for
hard
a long
and
time,
rapidly, there's a good chance they'll break apart on the outside before they're actually cooked inside.
I do that all the time.
Yeah,
and
you get those free-floating pieces of potato in there.
Right.
A little bit slower. Go easy on them. They'll be happier if you do that.
Okay.
You cook until tender, until you insert a knife, and basically it comes out pretty easily. You know they're tender, about 25, 30 minutes.
Okay, good to know.
That's it. Okay, in real time, that would be done.
Magic TV time.
And then you drain them and you cut them into chunks. And this is what it looks like at this point in time. Now, this is my favorite tip of all. So you cut them into chunks, you put them back into the pan. You're going, why? Lori, why on earth would I do this?
And the pan is empty. We're just putting in dry.
Exactly. We're putting back in the pan. We boiled them in.
Okay.
And we're basically going to stir them. I think this is on, actually.
Okay. Yeah, it is on.
We're going to stir them over low heat to dry out the potatoes. So that moisture that might still be in there from the boiling water, we're going to get it out. We're going to dry them so that this is going to give us that light, fluffy texture that we wanted.
That's how you get the light, fluffy texture.
And you can tell that you're pretty much there. Basically, there's a white film on the bottom of the pan.
I got that. Let's see if we can get a little bit of that. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, that's a really good tip to know, I think.
And you're drying them. I would have never thought to dry them.
I know.
Okay, now what are we going to do?
Now we're going to mash them.
Okay.
Sounds so
wait
easy.
a minute. Well, no, it doesn't. Trust me, I think it sounds like a little bit of work. But you brought some different devices, as I like to call them, or tools.
We did.
Now tell me what you think I need to make.
For the kitchen gadget fan, there's some fun options here. This is the classic. This is a classic potato masher. This is what I think most of us have this. I tend to like this because it gives it a nice rustic texture. It's easy.
Okay.
You can take your frustrations out. This is kind of an old-fashioned version of the classic masher. I think this is sort of fun. It's basically the same thing. It's just more of a smaller holes. This is actually a ricer. I don't know if you've used one of these before, but it's a little bit like a giant garlic press. And it pushes the potato through the little holes and makes it very creamy.
But are you loading the potatoes inside here?
You would actually push them, and you can kind of tell me. There you go. They go right in there.
Okay.
Potatoes go through the hole. Push. Little exercise in the process. Food mill works the same way. You can also use a mixer. You can use a stand mixer like this. The only thing you don't want to use is a food processor.
Why?
Which makes them kind of gummy, a little bit gluey in texture. So you want to stay away from the food processor, but any of these are fine.
Now, what are we talking when we say we're going to actually throw it all together? We have some butter.
We do.
Is that one of the keys to making fabulous mashed potatoes?
Can you imagine them without?
No, I can't, and I really don't want to because I'm a girl who loves to eat.
I'm with you. I think they're all about the butter.
Okay.
So we're going to use half and half and softened butter.
So how much butter?
This is actually, I think this is 6 tablespoons.
Okay.
And we are adding butter now and half and half.
All of it?
You can also use milk if you'd rather. You could use, if you're really going
heavy
for
cream.
it, if you're indulgent, you can use heavy cream.
Okay, so you know what we use in my house.
That's absolutely fine. Half and half seems to be just that right amount of flavor and fat in there.
Okay.
And that's it. So we're going to mash away. Yeah.
Oh, we're going to mash away. Now, which one would you suggest? I'll give it on over here. Now, as we're mashing away, this particular one we mentioned just a little bit earlier is not necessarily going to be in this particular issue.
This is in our October-November issue, but the recipe itself is on the website, right up there with that Thanksgiving menu planner. Wow, you're doing a great job there.
I do try. I am all about being a business kitchen.
And you can see how the skins break up.
I do.
And you kind of get that still wonderful rustic, a little bit chunky texture. If you did use a ricer or the food mill, the skins would actually stay in there. So it would still save you from having to peel originally.
And I do want to say, Lori, with the Fine Cooking Magazine, what's great about your magazine is you don't have to be a chef to enjoy the magazine.
Not. You just have to love to cook.
Love to cook and easy tips.
Yes.
Start to finish.
We're all about those great tips that make you really successful in the kitchen. Make your food the best it can be.
All right, let's talk about toppings. What do we bring for toppings? Because that's really what also...
Should we do that too?
Yes.
Oh, and you know what? I've got a great do-ahead tip. I wanted to share that with you
Talk with me about that.
So once you're done mashing, you basically put your potatoes in the bowl.
Okay.
How are you doing there?
I think they came out really good. Yep, I'm making a mess and it feels great. Okay, here we go. We're going to dump this in here.
I think a lot of people, at Thanksgiving, there's so much to do on Thanksgiving Day. The last thing you want is a last-minute side dish that you have to make. And, when you put mashed potatoes in the refrigerator, when you make them ahead and put them in the refrigerator, they're just never the same. They never have the same texture.
Okay.
So this is a great tip where you don't have to put them in the refrigerator.
Oh, that looks
You can just go ahead and set the bowl right over the simmering water.
Really? No, it just needs to be simmered, not boiling.
Not boiling.
Okay.
Remember, we're gonna go easy on these mashed potatoes.
Let's get that out of the way.
Cover the bowl.
Okay.
Set it over simmering water. And it'll stay creamy and perfect for a couple of hours. So you can go and do everything else you have to do for Thanksgiving.
That means you can do the sweet potato pie, you can make the apple pie.
And have a glass of wine while you're at it.
All right, so now should we pull this out? Let's talk about the toppings you brought, because these are great ideas to think about.
This is so
cheese
fun.
And prosciutto or ham.
What could be bad? It's better than an ice cream bar, I think.
Hello, yeah.
So basically, these are the classic mashed potatoes.
Okay.
Because they are so simple in flavor, they are great foil for anything that you wanted to add to it. So flavors in your Thanksgiving meal, things that you just love, bacon and cheese, 2 of my favorite ingredients on the planet. It's kind of like a mashed potato bar. Just to begin with, instead of half and half or milk, if you wanted to use either creme fraiche or sour cream, you could use that to mash your potatoes with.
Okay.
You could add in cheese. We've got cheddar cheese, goat cheese, blue cheese. Basically, any kind of cheese is going to work.
Okay.
Oh, want to use a bowl?
Yeah, let's use a bowl. That's perfect.
Let's spoon some out of here.
Yeah. Okay.
And we can start tasting.
Yeah, let's put one of this in here.
We have a couple of different kinds of sautéed mushrooms, both shiitake and button mushrooms, roasted garlic. Oh my goodness!
I love roasted garlic, and this is wonderful to display for your guest.
I know, isn't this beautiful?
And
they just pop right up, and you can just mash them right into the potatoes.
Now let's load away. Taste the
garlic,
garlic,
bacon. It's all good. You can't go wrong.
Let me just put